winter tournaments can be tough, and geez, this was a little bit tough on us. So me and Jerry decided to jump in this little jackpot tournament on Cedar Lake. They have, I guess every other week they have a tournament over there. It's Saturday or Sunday, it just depends. We decided to go ahead and jump into that. So we're gonna have some tournament footage, but I want to talk a little bit about leading up to the tournament, the conditions and stuff. So I was able to go over there Saturday. This was a Sunday tournament. I was able to go over there Saturday, and I did some video stuff. I kind of just cleaned up some things I needed to do, got over there and spent like an hour and a half in the parking lot before I actually got in the water. But I went out there and fished for a few hours, and I kind of scanned some spots, just looked at some things, see if I could figure out what the fish were doing. It was bright bluebird skies. This is key. Bright bluebird skies. I didn't fish a couple of the areas that I'd caught some fish the following week, just for the obvious reasons. I didn't want to sore mouth them if they were still biting in that area, but I did kind of scan and look around. It looked like there was still some fish in the area. Tried a few new places and actually found a spot that I knew was actually, I decided it was going to be our starting spot for the tournament in practice. So I'll go ahead and show you a little bit of that. I didn't fish a lot, but I did catch one nice one in that area.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you guys for leaving all the comments when I was talking about what trolling motor I should get. Been fishing offshore a lot, and I've been having trouble staying out there because I didn't have a trolling motor with Spotlock. And you guys left comments. The Ultrex overwhelmingly got the most votes, but the Garmin Force and the Lowrance Ghost were right there too. So they're all good trolling motors. I went with the Ultrex. So I got a new 24 volt, 80 pound thrust Minn Kota Ultrex. This is the maiden voyage. I just got it all put on last night. And it really came down to time in the industry. The Minn Kota Ultrex has been around for quite some time, and price. This was about $800 cheaper, maybe $1,000 cheaper, and that was more in my budget. So that's why I went with this, but I'm excited to get it out there. I'm gonna have to make some adjustments on it. Well, we have found the shad. Without a doubt. A ton of shad in here. It's too much shad early. 40.4 degree water temps. Sitting out here at the boat ramp. Just tried out my new Ultrex. It is working properly. I'm gonna get out here in the wind, hit Spotlock, see what happens. This is exciting, folks. It's been a long time coming.
There he is. There he is. It's a good fish. Good fish. SP78. We got here. Oh yeah, that's a nice one. That is a nice fish. Yeah, come on up here, Buster. He's just sitting there and it loaded up. I'm seeing fish on the graph. That's a good one. That is a good one, folks. That's a nice one. Yeah, it's a beautiful fish. Yes, sir. On that back hook, barely hooked. He's barely hooked. Don't jump, don't jump, don't jump, don't jump, don't jump, don't jump. Don't jump, don't jump, don't jump. Okay, gotcha. Alright, man, look at that. That's a nice one. That little SP78, man, that's been good to me in the baitfish color. I mean, that sucker was barely hooked. 41 degree water, just north-facing pockets. And the water's about 1 degree warmer, and there's fish just kind of suspended out here. And it had to let this thing sit for probably 6-7 seconds and just load it up. I wish it would have got it all the way down. I don't like it when they get hooked on that back hook, but I got a lot of confidence in this color, so I'm going to keep throwing it. But nice fish, very nice.
Just
fish.
caught that fish right over the top of a brush pile. Here's the brush pile right there. So wood is good in the wintertime. These fish are definitely relating to wood. Just got to find the right area, which is something I'm working on. And some wood. Seems like you can get a bite, you know. You have to rotate through several little brush piles, several little laydowns. They're not on every one, but it's definitely something to key in on.
I had that to go on right there, and there was a lot of good fish in that area, so I knew that was definitely a place that we wanted to start at if we could get on that. Tournament morning, we get over there. Tournament starts at 7. We get over there a little bit after 6, and it is 32 degrees and it's raining. Very tough conditions. In fact, we pulled up, I think there were 2 other boats in the parking lot, maybe 3, and we were kind of wondering if anybody else was going to show up.
Good morning, folks. You're looking at 2 complete nut jobs. We're gonna fish a winter derby. It is 32 degrees and it is raining. Probably the worst possible conditions. Water temperatures are 40 degrees, maybe 39. I don't know yet. We'll find out. Positive is the wind is not blowing, and we're about 45 minutes before the tournament is scheduled to take off, and there's 3 boats here, so I don't know how many people are going to show up. Either way, everything's already soaking wet. We drove over in rain, and even if there is no derby, we're going to go fishing for a little while. I think it's going to be a jerkbait and a jig. I've got like 3 different jerkbaits tied on. We're just looking for 5 bites, literally looking for 5 bites. We're fishing for 2 over 18 and 3 under 14. And we're hoping to get 5 bites, and we're hoping they're the right ones because it's tough out there. Right, Jerry? Got a donut, hot hands.
There ended up being, I think, 10 boats in the tournament. So there's 9 other boats that were just as crazy as we were. That's what I like about, those are like the hardcore fishermen that fish these winter derbies, especially when it's 32 degrees and raining. I mean, you gotta love it. You gotta be ate up with it. It's fun. So we're all we're all in it together. It's almost like a little unspoken brotherhood. But we go out there, and I had some gear malfunctions. I couldn't get my gloves on when we're taking off. It was kind of a shotgun start. We just, boom, everybody takes off, and I'm trying to get my gloves on. Well, they were wet and they wouldn't go on my hands, so we were the last ones out of the cove there. Little technical difficulties. Couldn't find my gloves. Make sure I had them before we leave, which was okay, but I knew that the spot I wanted to start on, I wasn't going to be able to get on, because it's one of those places where I think you have to have the fastest boat to get there, and it was on down the lake. So we decided to pull in an area where I'd caught some fish the week before, and it was kind of slow. We did manage to catch a few fish.
Skinny dude.
Weird. The line jumped and pulled me in the air. There he is. There he is. Nice slot fish. It ain't gonna help though. I just had a bite coming through there. He slapped it first time. Then we kind of scrambled. We really couldn't get that jerkbait thing going, which I was kind of surprised. And like I said earlier, the day before was sunny, and I think what was going on is the fish around that wood and stuff weren't biting as well. So we scrambled around a little bit and we went back in the area where I wanted to start. Luckily, there was somebody about halfway out of the cove, almost to the mouth of the cove, and we were able to slide in behind them and get, you know, way back in there. Not get in their way or anything, they'd already fished through there, but I have a feeling that we were probably the third or fourth boat through that area already that morning, because this was probably about 9 o'clock, so we fished that other area for, you know, 2 hours. And we went through that area and there's still fish on the graph. It looks right. The fish are in there, the right fish. And we managed to make a few adjustments. They wouldn't hit that jerkbait for me. But Jerry managed to catch some fish on a blade bait, which was really cool, man. I tried to fish a blade bait and caught a few fish on it, but it's not something I have a lot of confidence. So it's kind of a little niche thing that Jerry stumbled on.
Imagine that. What's the water temp?
40.6.
40.6. I wouldn't hold my mouth right or something. Next to the grass.
And then we ran to another spot and that wasn't panning out. And then we tried to go back. We decided we were going to go back in that area and just spend the rest of the day there. But every time we go past there was a boat in there. So we never got to go back and fish that again, unfortunately. So we just started fishing some main lake stuff, and we slowed down with the shaky head just to get some bites, just to kind of get some confidence back. And we stumbled upon a decent little shaky head bite. Now, it wasn't the fish that we needed. We never ran across the right fish, but we did kind of, put some things together and figured out that we could catch fish fishing out off the grass line a little bit slower.
Hold up a second. Hey, white head fish. Look at fish. That's full.
Yeah? Good one?
Never even felt it.
that a keeper or not?
It was 14 and a half.
Well, we've resorted to the shaky head, and we've got 3 bites in about 10 minutes. It's not going to help. It's another slot fish. We're struggling out here, but you know, came out here, wanted to spend a little time, do a little tournament. It's only $50, so it's not too big a deal. You never know. We still got a little time though, but it's nice to catch a few fish. These fish are cold and sluggish. They're just picking it up and moving off with it. You're not even really feeling the bite. There we go, folks. It has been extremely tough. We got 3 unders, caught some slot fish, and the tournament's about over, so just not our day. We'll go ahead and throw it in the live well just in case. Alright folks, that's going to wrap it up. We got about 10 minutes to get back. We had 4 unders and we're just going to toss them back. It's not going to do us any good. So we will give you a recap on the way back home. Tough day, but never know. Sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. That was basically the tournament. We, as you'll see by this audio when we're driving home, I mean, we were kind of had our heads down, man. Kind of disappointed. It took some pretty good weight to win it, and we just missed the bite. A lot of times that's how it is. You know, you gotta fish the moment, and I don't think we fished the moment. I think I fished yesterday and I fished last week. I should have made some small adjustments. We were in the right areas. We were throwing the right bait. We were just not doing it in the right section of the water, right part of the water column, in my opinion. I think we just could have made a few small adjustments, but that's just fishing. You can be really close to figuring it out and just miss it. And if that 16-inch fish bite, that bit turns into be like a 20-inch fish, you look good, you know. So it's just sometimes it's just about getting the right bites. It's always about getting the right bites, but I mean, you can rationalize it in your head, but we just missed it. We just missed it barely, and that's part of fishing. You know, you some of the worst tournaments are your best learning experiences. But we had a pretty sober drive home. We talked a lot. We had a good time, but we're just always trying to hash it out, trying to figure out what we did wrong, what we need to improve on, and we'll go do this again for sure. That's what we do. You know, you live and learn, and you try to take what you learned from the prior tournament into the next tournament and just keep getting better. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon.
Well, tournament's over, and we are driving home with our tail between our legs. It was tough for us. We threw back the fish that we had. I think we had 4 unders. Caught several slot fish, but just, I don't know, we couldn't get it going. I'd caught fish on a jerkbait. In fact, I caught a pretty good one the day before when I was over there just playing around. And we were just kind of talking about that. I think the difference was there was more sun there yesterday, and we probably should have put that jerkbait down a lot sooner and started dragging stuff. And the thing is, I kind of know that, we kind of know that, but it's still hard to do when you got a lot of confidence in a jerkbait. And it is just a matter of coming across the right laydown. When one of those big fishes moved up there and, you know, she sucks that jerkbait down, and you're like, wow, that was the greatest move ever. You know, like you know what you're doing. So, but we had fun, man. It was cold, man. It was raining. It was 32 degrees this morning. Good thing is the wind did not blow. That was kind of a saving grace, because if there would have been some wind out of there, it would have been horrible. But caught a few fish on jerkbait, caught fish on blade bait, which was pretty cool. Jerry kind of stumbled across that little pattern. Just something that I've tried and not done any good, but he was dialed in on it. He caught several fish doing that, and then we just started dragging a shaky head around towards the end of the day. And there was a window, talking to some of the guys there, and we experienced the same thing. They were biting like the first hour, maybe 2 hours, and then there was a long dead period, 4 or 5 hours, and then the last hour or so of the day they started biting. And that's kind of what we experienced. Although we didn't have the quality, we did start getting some bites there around like 1:30, 1:45, something like that. So there was just really a couple feeding windows. That's kind of how it is in winter. And I think it's like any other tournament, it was all about landing on that right spot. So it is what it is. Congratulations to the guys that won. I think Don and Powers won again. There were several really nice sacks. We dropped the ball for the most part, but that's the way it is. Win some, lose some, and we do it for fun. We'll come back and we'll try it again. It's all about practicing, learning. Each year we get a little bit better and learn a few more spots. And it's hard. The hardest thing is to make those on the water adjustments. It's real time. It happens quick, and you know, 8 hours goes by pretty fast. So you got to be on your toes. But anyway, man, I wanted to share the good and the bad with you. You know, last tournament was really good. This one not so good. That's part of it. But give me a thumbs up if you appreciate the content. Please subscribe to the channel. Jerry, you got anything to say?
Losing sucks.
There you go.
There you go.
Losing sucks. So that's all I got for you.
Winning beats losing.
Yeah, winning beats losing. We're on the short end of the stick this time, but it's part of it. Sometimes the toughest days on the water are the best ones to learn from. So we're on the drive home, we're hashing all the things that we could have, should have, would have did. But that's all I got for you. Appreciate the support. Till next time.